Good morning, good afternoon to all my dear students. I guess you might be wondering that today sir is sitting here, sir is not having any board, sir is staring outside. Did I thought of saying something different? Did I thought of telling something different, doing something different? It becomes too monotonous, when people do the same work, same thing, and the same thinking every each day. It becomes too monotonous for life. Many of my students had just passed out a few years back. It's been a long time I'm teaching in a particular school. I found many of my students to be passing out, many of my students to be doing something in their own life. They find sometimes in stress, they often call me up. They often try to share their valuable words on me. They even share their regrets to me. So I thought that many are missing. I'm missing most of my students there in class 12, those who are just passed out, and those who are even there in class 12 and is passing on class 10. Nowadays, the society has become, even me, you can include me even, I also feel sometimes so depressed. I don't know why sometimes distress fill me. I'm not getting that bliss in my work. I don't feel working properly. I don't feel that essence of working every each day in a very normal sense. So I thought of sharing few words with you all, dear. I don't know, I'm not a good speaker, I'm not good orator, and I'm not a good motivator like many motivators found in YouTube. But I do scroll them often a time whenever I feel overburdened with all those griefs, overburdened with all those distress and regrets on my life. I'd request all my viewers there in YouTube to spare a few time with me and do help me share with all your regrets in my comment box. In our childhood, we often do read some idioms or some proverbs, in which one proverb is very true. School days are the golden days. Exactly. I also do miss my school days. The school days was something different when I was reading in a school, when the sisters always used to pamper us, always used to even scold us. At that particular point of time, we used to be very much unhappy on those moments. But now, as we all have grown up, all my friends have grown up, we all sometimes regret that why we had thought even of that. Even we regret that why haven't we worked hard? Was there any situation that was not suitable for us? Our parents did well. Our parents have spent a lot of money on us. They invested a lot of time on us. They have given us all sort of encouragement in every each moment. But somehow we missed all those days. Now the situation, this time, where the entire country is facing a depressionary situation, where the country would be facing a depressionary situation, the time of recession, where in economical sense, where poverty is tremendously increasing, where unemployment rate would be thought to be increased, different economists are speaking about different strategies. In this point of time, I find many of my students, those who are there in class 10 and was going on with CBSE or ICSE examinations of class 10, many of my students, those who are there in class 12 and even been eagerly waiting for the last examinations to be getting completed, they are also facing the situation of mental stress. I know most of my students, which are very known to me, often message me or text me that, sir, whether board is going to conduct the exam or not, what will happen to us? We thought of preparing for different entrance examinations and all got postponed. It's very true. It's very unwanted situation that we are now. It was not even thought, it was unplanned, it was unexpected. The situation that you are, that what we are actually existing. Have you ever thought that are these sadness suits you? Are the sadness meaningful? Do you exactly think that the way you lead a life, should be the same? Life do not give chances to many, and if you get a chance, try to grip that one, try to grab that one at your best, try to do whatever chance you get in your life. One thing I recognize, one thing I realized in my life, I also, like you all, try to scroll up my YouTubes whenever I feel depressed, whenever all those anxieties comes on me. I sometimes go on different type of motivational speech. There are many good motivational speakers there in YouTube, like the Gopal Das, who is one of my favorite ones, Sandeep Maheshwari and all. There are many more whom I just try to listen them and try to get those positive vibes on me. Try to leave all those negative vibes. Look, you are responsible of yourself, isn't it? I always tell my students that you are in this age of class 10, 11, 12, you're going on with your grads, you're going on with the post-grads. That means you have become the responsible citizen of our country. Being the responsible citizen, it's your responsibility, it's your parents' responsibility, as well as it's the responsibility of you to hold on an entire society. Being a social science teacher, I should always tell society should be the first priority. But nowadays, the psychology of each individual have changed. Nowadays, we'll find many of the individual with negative vibes. Many of your friends would be telling all those disrespectful things against your parents, disrespectful things against your teachers. They will be even toiling up throughout the day by just pinching the school authority, by just telling bad things against you all, against any other friends and all. Try to avoid their existence in your life. Mix up with them, but try to make yourself so slippery so that all those negative vibes slip from you. Just remember, if you are positive, if you remain positive within you, then all those negativity can never touch you. I was scrolling YouTube few days before, and I saw a very nice thing in YouTube where I saw, I guess, Gopal Das to be speaking about the 3 advices of life. What we need to make, or what we need to keep in your mind very nicely. It had had a deep impact on me. Yes, I guess, like you all, I'm also sitting idle in my home. What to do, how to pass on my time. So often a time I use my internet to scroll all this thing. I get some positive vibes. That's because now also without any work, it makes the people too much tired also, right? So when you're having excessive burden and when you don't have any burden, both the things make you so tired. What happened? What was happening to me? So few days before, I just went on with some valuable words of Gopal Das. What he told are the 3 advice. He was talking about a very good story. He was talking about a king who was trying to catch a bird. Now, and he wanted to make that particular bird his pet. He went to a forest and somehow managed to catch a bird. The bird was very clever. The bird told him that if you leave me, I'm going to give you 3 precious advice which will transform your life. The king was very surprised. The king thought, my goodness, I'll get some 3 valuable words or 3 valuable advice that can specify my life, right? So that can pacify my life, that can make my life good. So by understanding that, he just freed that particular bird. The bird started flying. When the bird started flying, the bird gave him the first advice. The first advice was, never try to regret your past mistakes. If you have done any mistake, we all do mistakes. If you have also done a mistake, try to forget that. Don't try to regret that a lot, so that you make yourself excessively consumed with your negativities, excessively overburdened with all the regrets. Don't try to consume regrets. The bird started flying more high and more high. Before the king thought of understanding the words, the bird flew and sat over the big high branch. From that particular branch, by sitting, He told the second advice, be very careful on hearing that. The second advice told by the bird was, never try to think or judge anyone or any comments or anything in your life without a valid reason. If you have a first-hand proof, if your sense work on that particular thing, then only try to believe that. That was a wonderful advice. But before pondering on that, before working on that, before understanding what the bird have told, the bird started flying very high and very high. The king tried to tell that particular bird, please, bird, tell me the third advice. The bird told that, king, you are such a big fool. You didn't understood that I was having 2 more jewels within me, and you left me. You would have killed me. You have taken those particular 2 gems and you would have become rich. Before telling that or before understanding anything, the king started yelling on that. He started yelling on himself. So I am so big fool. How can I be a great duffer? How can I just leave that particular bird? Why haven't I thought? The bird started laughing. And the bird told, the 2 advice that I have given you. The first, don't try to regret on the past mistakes. The king, you did the same. The second advice, what I have given you, don't make yourself overburdened and don't try to consume excessive regret on yourself. Don't try to consume your past mistakes within yourself. The life would be hell. And you did the same. The king was astonished. The king regretted that, yes, just now I would have thought, I would have pondered what have happened. Before understanding that, the bird tried to fly more high and told, before leaving I am going to give you advice. Remember, life is unpredictable. Life is unpredictable, and you did the same mistake what you used to do for a long while, what every individual used to do for a long while. We always try to judge anything without having a common knowledge, without having a common sense. We judge different type of agendas in our life, throughout the life, different political agendas, different type of words of different many individuals, of our friends, of our colleagues, of our near and dear one, without applying our own common sense. The king also did the same. The king was told that the bird was having 2 great gems within it. But the king believed on that. The king was so fooled to understand a bird, a very tiny bird, is having 2 gems. Is it really make any sense? So he forgot the advice. The king started yelling and was regretting making himself filled with excessive burden. That was the first advice that he ignored. So the advice and the video that is being made for you is all about making you understand how life is. Which advice you need to take and which advice you need not to take is all in your hand. Once, when I was very young age, I just read a story. What the moral of the story I can understand and I can reconcile now in this particular age. The story was of a small boy. And the boy was having the boy was from a village and was very famous in showing magic to the villagers. He used to catch the dragonfly. A few years back also, I was in that farewell. I was there in a farewell party, not a party, farewell function. And I was called in the dais, and suddenly, all of a sudden, my students told me, "Sir, say something about us, say something about the future, say a few words." So somehow I recollected that particular old story, what I read in the very childhood days, a story of a boy and a dragonfly. Now, a small boy of a village was having a objective. He used to catch very good dragonfly. There are different colors, I guess you know. I was also having in my childhood, as I can even remember, I used to just go from one house to another house, from one garden to another garden, just to catch those beautiful dragonflies. The boy used to catch this dragonfly and used to put that in his hand, right? He used to put that in his hand, and he used to go to each villager and used to ask the villager, "Tell me in which hand the dragonfly is." But somehow I managed to tell that the dragonfly is this particular hand. He used to tell you are having a very good future. Now tell me the second question. Is the dragonfly alive or dead? Suppose if any villager is to tell the dragonfly is alive, then that's a very bad fortune for the dragonfly. To make that fellow wrong, to prove that fellow wrong, the boy is to smash that dragonfly and is to kill that one and is to tell the dragonfly is dead. You don't have a good future. Suppose on the other hand, if he catches the dragonfly in the same manner, is to come to another village and is to say the same question, and fortunately if the villager tells the dragonfly is dead, then that was a great fortune for the dragonfly. To make that fellow wrong and to prove that fellow wrong, the boy is to leave that dragonfly. The dragonfly is to fly away, and that's how it gets back his fortune. The moral of the story, I can feel it now. There is nothing called destiny. There is nothing called future. There is nothing called a good future, a happy future. Future is unpredictable. We don't have our destiny. It's nothing written in our fate. Destiny is within us. We are the creator of our own destiny. It's in your hand, it's in my hand. We create our own destiny. We are actually been born with those particular fine lines there in our hands. But these fine lines do not decide our destiny. Our destiny is being made by us. Life is too big, and we are all chasing to get happiness. And happiness is nothing but a state of mind. It's not a destination. It's rather a journey. Happiness is a journey. It's not a destination. I guess I will be making another video to make you understand that. For the time being, I'd request all my students of class 12, please keep patience and try to read all those things, all those chapters, all those books, all the subjects which examination are still left. As because who knows that the days of quarantine would even proceed farther and farther, and your exams would be postponed. So be well, stay safe, and always try to keep a sweet smile in your face. Always try to gain positivity and avoid the negative people, as because those negative people are not your responsibility. You become your own responsibility. Take your own responsibility. Be ever charming. Always in whatever situation you are in, try to get that positivity within you. Try to do something that makes you happy. Try to hear beautiful songs. Try to avoid those sad songs. Try to hear something that actually makes you energetic. Like what I do, I actually dig mud. I used to make all those old seeds of what I get from my mom's kitchen. I used to put that. I used to make this gardening. I used to make myself busy in hearing all this motivational speech. I used to hear loud music. I'm actually fond of all this thing. I love to tell all my viewers and all my students, try to do something that makes you happy. Even it might be reading books, even it might be watching films, even it might be watching my videos, even it might be watching any of the good motivators. I should suggest you, Sandeep Maheshwari as well as Gaur Gopal Das are the true motivators still now existing in our country. They're the best of the best. So I should suggest all these things for the time being. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay connected. Don't forget to subscribe my channel if you like my video, and don't even leave without sharing my video, and don't forget to give a thumbs up. That's all for today. Hope to see you soon with my economics class.